NFL draft, of course, which gets going this evening. We know that Fernando Mendoza is going to be the number one pick in the draft by the Raiders from Indiana, of course, their quarterback. And I got to tell you, so Smalls and I last night we're at multiple events. No big deal. And with many people in the know. And the buzz from these people expect fireworks tonight. And we're like, well, okay, continue. And like, that's it. There's just stuff going on. And so I got this love. I'm always excited about the draft. You guys are always excited about the draft. And being here in Pittsburgh is awesome. But Smalls, because I know CeCe has a prediction for what the fireworks could be. It's not Mendoza going 1. Arvell Reese is now back to being the favorite to go number 2 per DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay, that's not the firework. He's an outside linebacker, edge rusher, Ohio State going to the Jets. I got the impression from people, big tonight. Is that the same impression that you got?
I got the same impression. Seems like the draft starts at 3 with the Cardinals. Jeremiah Love seems to be the prized possession that teams may be jumping up for. But talking to people last night, it was a lot of, it almost felt like Christmas Eve, like, just wait till you see what we're going to get tomorrow morning. Just wait. And they even, speaking to some people, they don't even know exactly what it's going to be, which I think leads to the drama and the excitement, that the insiders are still waiting to see how the puzzle's going to be put together because there's a lot of moving pieces behind the scenes.
And do you guys remember last year, same day, we're in Green Bay at the Tundra Trio. We started to get word something's going on, but we didn't know what exactly. Yep. And then remember, what was it, like a half hour before the draft, we got word, keep an eye on this Browns-Jaguars thing. Or like, what Browns-Jaguars thing? And then the Travis Hunter deal happened. You have a prediction for where the fireworks could be.
It's going to be at number 3, and it's going to be for Jeremiah Love.
And do you have a team?
I absolutely do. Everybody loves Love. But I'm going with a team that has a track record for taking the running backs inside the top 5. A team whose biggest star is not a player. The Dallas Cowboys.
No.
The Dallas Cowboys jumping up to number 3 to take Jeremiah Love. Everybody has speculated that the Cowboys want an impact player on the defensive side of the ball. They need to replenish the ranks post Micah Parsons. There's all the work that they need to do. They need a linebacker. They need edge rush. They need a corner. They need all of those things. And I'm not denying any of that. But what helps an ailing defense is an offense that can control time of possession. And an offense that can dictate the complexion of the game. Think back to the Dallas Cowboys in 2016 when they drafted Ezekiel Elliott and then in the 4th round got Dak Prescott. That team was the number 1 seed in the NFC going into the postseason. Now, they were one and done. They lost in the divisional round at home to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers on an incredible throw from Rodgers to Jared Cook. But I think that the Dallas Cowboys, adding Jeremiah Love to that offense that features CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, an offensive line full of first-round picks, all named Tyler, oddly enough, and Dak Prescott, I think that has the makings of something special. Now, they'd have to figure out the George Pickens piece, but I don't think it's happenstance that the Dallas Cowboys and Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones drew a line in the sand when it comes to what they're willing to do and how far they're willing to go in terms of their financial commitment with George Pickens. They did that yesterday. So it feels like all of these things are setting up for the Cowboys to make a massive move to add another touchdown scorer to that offense around Dak Prescott.
12 and 20? Does that get it done?
No. Well, I don't know that the Cowboys want to give up both first-round picks in this year's draft because they don't have another pick, I believe, until the 4th round.
Would they give up one next year?
I think they would give up draft capital next year as well.
Well, if you're Arizona and you're not going to take 12, you're not going to take Ty Simpson, and potentially you don't trade back into the first round, you load up on next year because that's where your quarterback's coming from.
Everybody wants 2027 picks.
I'll give you 2 other things to keep an eye on.
Go for it.
The Saints trading up from 8. And the other thing, I can't believe I'm going to be the one to say this. Carson Beck may end up being a first-round pick.
You're miserable even thinking about it.
Well, CeCe's been saying he doesn't think that Ty Simpson. Let's connect dots. CeCe, I'm not sure Ty Simpson's going to be the second quarterback taken, okay? Last year, we had this whole conversation. Are we sure Shador's going to be the second quarterback taken? Could it be Jackson Dart? We talked about that leading up to the draft. There's always that, like, late, we got the order of the quarterbacks wrong, right? And then you've got Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, going on with Rich Eisen yesterday, noon until 3 Eastern, here on ESPN Radio, talking about Carson Beck. You know, he may be the one that surprises some people. There's been all these connections between the Steelers and Carson Beck. Oh, they really like him. What has Adam said? The Steelers really are working out all these quarterbacks. They may want a quarterback. I mean, there's something going on there with Carson. He's the name I'm going to keep an eye on tonight. That's a Miami and Georgia quarterback.
So that would be your draft day surprise?
I'm going to lean into what you said. And I'm going to be wrong because I said Ty Simpson top 15 pick. I'm going to be wrong. I now have to say it would not surprise me if Carson Beck was drafted ahead of Ty Simpson.
Wow.
How can I avoid this? It's all over. This is not like any kind of new info. It's just connecting dots amongst the info that exists and connecting the analysis that CeCe has from 11 years in the league and covering a million drafts.
I'm still hung up on CeCe saying it's going to be the Cowboys to jump up and get Jeremiah Love because they are in desperate need of defensive help. And I know that Jerry Jones loves to collect stars, and he loves to be the star of the show. And Jeremiah Love would obviously be a huge piece to what the Dallas Cowboys are trying to accomplish.
So
but
fans would love Jeremiah Love.
Great, but the defense was last in the NFL in points per game allowed, 30.1. They haven't had that low of an output since 1960.
You know what helps that?
Running game.
Defense not being on the field. I mean, you're asking the question. I'm giving you the answer.
No, you're right, but still, I don't know. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I would love Love because he's an excellent player and an excellent person. But I would be very concerned about the defense.
I hear you, Smalls, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be concerned about the defense, but I'm just pointing out that the Dallas Cowboys have a specific way that they want to play, and they weren't allowed to play the way that Jerry Jones wants them to play. They didn't get the full ROI on that investment that they made on the offensive line. And so I think this takes their team up another notch if you can add a dynamic running game and protect your defense. And I think this helps them do that dramatically if they draft Jeremiah Love. Now, listen, this is a wild card. We'll see what ends up happening. I think the George Pickens situation is weird. Jerry Jones has had time trying to negotiate with David Mulligetta, his agent. He was Michael Parsons' agent.
Yep.
See how that worked out. So I'm just looking at what the Dallas Cowboys are breadcrumbing here, and it feels like it's setting up for them to make a massive move.
That would be juicy tonight. Speaking of trades.
If you draft Jeremiah Love, it makes it a lot easier to trade George Pickens.
Big time, yeah.
Speaking of trades, we got a